President Pres.Mahama is inarguable African most intelligent political president. Guys, I'm going to be sharing a particular video with you all where you can hear the president of Ghana speaking, and I'm also going to be sharing a video of a senator, like a politician in Nigeria, also speaking. When we compare these two countries, levels past level. And you know, some months ago, Ghanaian politicians were ranked one of the most educated in the world, like in the whole wide world. Let's watch the video, and please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
What is the new system that you would want to create, both for trade and aid, assuming that the US is doing what it's doing? What is everyone else going to need to do now?
Well, self-reliance is not only at the national level, but on the continental level. And there's good news coming out of Africa, like she said. Most countries have ratified the protocol on continental free trade in Africa. And that trade is beginning to grow steadily. We're able to export tariff-free into our countries. Of course, there are obstacles because our trade channels have been the colonial trade channels between us and Europe and not amongst ourselves. So one of the things we need to deal with first is how we develop the infrastructure to be able to exchange goods amongst ourselves. Already, most countries are allowing free movement of people. And so if we have free movement of goods and services across the continent, I think that it will fill a huge gap in South-South trade, and that will benefit all our countries.
And do you think that the actions of the Trump administration will accelerate Africans' determination to do this? Will it finally actually happen, the African free trade area?
Definitely it will. Definitely we will learn to be more self-reliant as a continent and to trade more amongst ourselves, because there's a lot of room there.
Ghanaians don't know what God has done for them.
Nigeria don't die.
Finish. Ghana today na 1,070. So how do they take
What? Until they have a brother or a sister that lives in Nigeria to tell them the economic situation in Nigeria, that is when you will celebrate who you have as a leader of this country called Ghana. You see this guy standing here, I'm going to show you this video right now. He is a lawyer, a known lawyer. Deji is a known lawyer, a very popular icon in Nigeria. So this is not a skit. This is a big guy in Nigeria. And this is Deji, the very dark man who's lawyer. VDM's lawyer. So he's not just a common guy. He is an activist himself. This is not a skit. This is reality on ground. 1,700 naira goes for $1. This is unprecedented. For you to buy phone in Nigeria, it's like you want to buy a car. It's not luxury. Phones are luxury in Nigeria. And I can bet you that Nigerians barely earn up to 150,000 naira. How do they save? How do they live? How do they survive? Look at Ghana. The currency is crashing. About $10, 10 cedis to $1. 10 cedis to $1. Unprecedented. I don't give a damn what makes it what. I don't give a damn how it is. I don't give a damn what makes the model. I don't give a damn. But what I'm saying is that Ghana is working. And in this motion, this is not to make Ghanaian president or the government to slow down. They are still going to push harder because he is a model to be called African president, not Ghana president, because people must learn from whatever they are doing to get it right. I'm out of here.
This is the meaning of harmonize. Harmonize is a situation where point of order. This is the meaning of harmonize.
These politicians with their big guns buying Lamborghinis and they can't even read.
Harmonize is
just a word.
A
So I'm going to show you
situation
another video.
where
This Nigerian woman, she's very intelligent. She decided to give these politicians in Nigeria woto woto, and she compared them to Ghanaian politicians when they are speaking in the parliament. They follow suit, like they follow whatever they are doing accordingly. This one finish them all. Watch the video.
For the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law, but I've had the privilege in my past life to be a politician. So when you talk about mad dogs and corrupt people and bias, I cringe. The judiciary should not be seen mingling with politicians. Who are the judiciary? They're Nigerians. And I think that's for me, I think that is the root of the problem. Somehow, you become a governor and you're no longer a Nigerian. Somehow you become a judge, you're no longer a Nigerian. You're a president and you're no longer a Nigerian. And that is the root of the problem. It is a Nigerian problem. If you're a corrupt Nigerian and you're made a judge, you will be a corrupt judge. If you're a corrupt Nigerian and you become a SAN, you will become a corrupt SAN. The problem is a Nigerian problem. It starts from the home, it starts from the communities. We don't even hold each other accountable any longer. So, sir, I equally have a question for you. Perhaps we should legislate who people marry. Why should a prominent politician's wife be able to be a judge? It should be against the law. You see somebody that I laugh at it. He's a prominent politician, and his wife climbs up and becomes a Supreme Court justice. We have to regulate these things. And some people will say, how can you regulate love? You're not regulating love, you're regulating sanity and discipline. If your wife needs to be a judge, then you need not be an elected official. You must pick one. Let us get serious. Let us get serious. You hear court judgments, and the judge sitting there is the wife of a senator, and the senator comes on the floor of the Senate and tells us, well, in the bedroom, I have negotiated for some of you, and we laugh. So I'm calling on all of us, because I was talking to my friend, Dr. Gash. I was saying to him that the simplistic response to all of our problems is to blame the judiciary. The simplistic solution to all our problems is to blame politicians. If I didn't tell you today that I am a politician, or I was a politician before I went on sabbatical, I don't look like one. I don't speak like one. But let me tell you another problem before I sit down, having listened to our speaker. The bigger problem is, I have to humbly tell you that the politicians you see on your television, in the Senate, the National Assembly, are finished products of a very corrupt route. I remember the first time I was just coming back from the US when I ran for Federal House of Reps. I went to one of the delegates' house, and I must say this with all sense of humility. The man couldn't speak English, was a secondary school dropout, was riddled with poverty. I was trying to understand, how can this man gauge if I'm good enough to represent him? I could barely sit on his seat. The house was filthy. All of you politicians know what I'm talking about. But multiple people like him were responsible to vote for who was going to represent them. And then you wonder what is wrong. With all due respect, it's not lawyers that pick these people. It's not people seated here that choose who is going to represent their parties. Let's get serious. From the root, it's corrupt. When it's time to pick those delegates, politicians pick delegates who cannot barely understand the system. All they know is the brown envelope. And you let them elect your senators and House of Reps members, and what do you expect to get out of it? Let's get serious. When they're writing these delegates, most of them are not even educated. They can't read, they can't write, they don't understand anything. They're waiting for the bags of rice. They don't care about issues. Give me the money.
Hello, great people. Nigerians are expressing shock as a federal lawmaker could not express himself in simple English. Honorable Abbas Adigun, the lawmaker representing the good people of Ibadan Southeast and Northeast Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, couldn't express himself when he was given the opportunity to move a motion. Despite repeated attempts, despite repeated correction, he still wasn't able to express himself. Out of the whole population of that country, the best should lead the rest. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, and that is some of the things that are responsible for the underdevelopment of Nigeria, because as other nations are moving forward, you will see that Nigeria is moving.
A lot of people will be asking this question. Nigeria is a giant of Africa. They have every resources. But why is it that they are not moving forward? This is it. This is the problem, because most of these politicians, as they said, they do not have good qualifications. Most of them do not even attain secondary school level. And I don't know how Nigerians are letting people that are not qualified to be their president, governors, to represent them in their constituency and other places, even their local government. And this is the reason why when these people are not educated, think in the future, they only think of the present. They don't think of a way to develop the country because they don't have that mindset. They don't have that mindset. And that is the reason why the country will keep wallowing in abject poverty, despite the fact that Nigeria is a very rich country. When you come to Ghana right now, I'm going to be using Ghana as a case study. Please let me use Ghana as a case study. When you come to Ghana right now, a lot of countries have looked down on this country, but when you come into this country, you will see a lot of development because the people that are governing, the people of Ghana, are actually very intelligent. They are highly, highly intelligent. In the House of Rep and the judiciary, even the president, they think in the future. They don't limit their thinking to now because they don't think like illiterates. They think like well-mannered people, like people that are well enlightened about the country. I just hope and pray things get better in Nigeria, just like that honorable minister, that lady. She's very, very intelligent. She just broke the table and scattered everywhere and told them to the faces. And in that meeting, she was seated right there with a lot of politicians. She told them to their faces that politicians, you guys are all educated. All you are after is what is in the brown envelope, and the brown envelope is money. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe.